Hello, everybody. I hope you are doing well. Today, we will dive into something that everyone has experienced in their relationship or household, something that has triggered more arguments than it has resolved. I'm talking about the dishwasher. Yeah, you heard me right, the dishwasher. You wouldn't think something as simple as an appliance meant to make our lives easier could be the epicenter of all your relationship drama. But here we are. I'm talking about the small things, those little everyday decisions that somehow turn into major debates. Like, how do you load the dishwasher? What do you mean? Is there a right way? Oh, trust me, there is. And if you're not following the correct method, you're probably about to start a fight. You think you're just putting dishes away, right? Plates here, cups there, maybe a couple of pans stacked on the bottom. Simple enough, right? Wrong. So wrong. You load that dishwasher, step back, and feel good about your work, like you've just completed a task that's a mix of art and science. And then, like a ninja in the night, someone walks in and inspects your work. And with a look that says, "How could you?" They go, "Why are the plates facing up? Plates face down. Everyone knows that." Now, you're standing there like, wait, what? What's the big deal? It's a plate. It's clean. It's in the dishwasher. Is this a new rule I missed? But no, you've just committed the worst offense of all. You've done the dishes all wrong. It's like you've walked into a museum and put the Mona Lisa upside down. The horror, the audacity. And don't get me started on the cups. Some people are like, cups go on the top rack. Who are these people and why do they insist on making life harder for everyone? If you put the cups on the top rack, you know what happens? They fall over. Every single time. And then you have to do the whole thing over again. But it doesn't end there. No. Now you've reached the Tupperware zone. Oh yeah, Tupperware. That's a whole different game. You think you got it under control, but then, boom, Tupperware chaos. You try to stack them neatly, but somehow it turns into a Jenga game that might collapse at any second. And if you manage to get it all in, good luck getting the lids to match. You'll be looking for a lid for 15 minutes, convinced it's in there, somewhere, buried deep beneath a sea of plastic containers. But then, hold up. There's the silent war of who does the dishes. This isn't just about how you load the dishwasher anymore. Oh no, now it's about who's going to load it and who's going to unload it. And neither of you wants to break first, so you just stare at the dishes, praying the other person will cave in. Meanwhile, the dishes are still there, just sitting, quietly judging you both. But here's the thing. When you look back, it's so hard to believe you fought over this. A dish, a bowl, a cup, a lid. You were ready to have a full-on debate about Tupperware lids, but now, when you think about it, you can't believe that's what you argued about. But at the time, oh, it was serious business. You didn't even know the war over how to load the dishwasher would turn into World War III. And it doesn't even make sense, right? You're not fighting over life-changing stuff. It's not about money or trust or anything deep like that. It's just dishes. But somehow, those little things, like the way you load the dishwasher, turn into the biggest, silliest arguments. And let's be real, by the time the argument's over, you're both just standing there, looking at the dishwasher like, did that just happen? Is this really where we are now? You've just had a 20-minute debate about the correct positioning of plates, and neither of you is even really mad anymore. You're just confused. All right, let's get into the real debate of the century. The question that's torn relationships apart, caused kitchen breakdowns, and led to some seriously awkward silences. The question is, do you load plates face up or face down in the dishwasher? Sounds simple, right? It's not. This is War World of 3 happening right in your kitchen. A battle so fierce, you might need a referee. First off, let me tell you about the right way. And by right, I mean the only way. Plates face down. I don't even want to hear arguments. Look, when you put the plates face down, the water jets, those little magical spray nozzles, can actually hit the plate at the right angle. The dishwashing process is all about the spray. And when the plate is face down, all of the food gunk and sauce is properly washed off. It's science, people. Don't argue with me. When you load them face down, you've got a perfect dishwasher situation. You're maximizing space, getting every nook and cranny of the plate clean, and your dishwasher is basically doing its job. It's like a little factory that's working overtime to ensure your plates are sparkling clean. You could probably eat off of that dishwasher. Well, after it finishes drying. But you get the idea. It's organized, it's efficient, it's beautiful. You're a dishwasher loading genius. If your plates aren't facing down, then I'm sorry, but I can't trust you with my Tupperware, let alone my dinner plates. Now let's talk about the wrong way. And I don't even know how this happened, but somehow someone out there convinced themselves that plates should be loaded face up. Why? What is that? Who told you this was acceptable? You've officially crossed over to the dark side, my friend. When you load plates face up, they're like little water catchers. You've basically made a bowl-shaped trap for water, and now all your plates are coming out with puddles in the middle. There's water just trapped in the center of the plate like a tiny lake that no one wants. And then, when you try to dry them, you're just chasing water spots around the plate like it's a scavenger hunt. You're fighting against the dishwasher itself. It's a losing battle. Now I'll tell you, the worst part about this wrong way? The people who do it think they're doing it right. They act like they've discovered some dishwasher hack that's gonna revolutionize cleaning. Oh, and the worst line? Well, I think it's more practical this way. Practical? Is it practical when your plate comes out looking like it's been through a car wash? Are you telling me it's practical when your plate's got a little water crater in the middle like it's a plate-shaped fountain? I don't think so. You're not cleaning. You're just wetting things and calling it good. And every time they defend this method, you just feel your brain shutting down. What do you mean? It's easier this way. No, it's not. It's harder. You've just made your dishwasher's life harder, and I'm over here watching the machine work harder than you're willing to. The dishwasher is rolling its imaginary eyes like, this is the nonsense I have to deal with? I could have been washing those dishes perfectly, but no. But let's be real. At the end of the day, the worst thing about this whole debate isn't even the water spots or the soap residue. No. It's the cold silence after the fight. You've just spent 15 minutes debating plates, and when it's all said and done, you're both standing there, staring at the dishwasher, wondering if this is really what your life has come to. You're both suddenly too exhausted to admit that you both could have just hand-washed the plates in 2 minutes, and now there's a weird tension hanging in the air because you just had a heated argument over plates. Plates. It doesn't make sense, but it feels important at the time. Let's talk about the unspoken rules of the dishwasher. You know, those hidden guidelines that everyone seems to follow, but no one ever actually says out loud. Like, why is it that we all know the top rack is for cups, glasses, and some delicate items? Is there a secret society we're all part of? Did we all just absorb this knowledge from a weird collective dishwasher culture? And then there's the bottom rack. Oh man, if there was ever a true Wild West of dishwashing, it's that bottom rack. Plates? Sure, fine, throw them in. Bowls? Yep, that's right. But you know what? Throw in anything a little too big or a little too small, and suddenly you've got a full-on jigsaw puzzle. And I'll be honest, nobody's ever happy with the bottom rack. I don't care how many times you rearrange it. I don't care if you have a 12-step process for stacking. The bottom rack is just where dreams go to die. There's always that one plate or pan that you swear should fit, but it just won't. And then, suddenly the whole thing turns into this chaotic game of Tetris. You'll be shoving plates in at awkward angles, turning things sideways, and suddenly you're a part-time dishwasher architect. You look at the rack and think, I've just designed a masterpiece. But deep down, you know one thing for sure. It's not going to clean properly. Now, let's talk about Tupperware. Oh, Tupperware. You ever tried to load Tupperware in a dishwasher? It's like trying to shove a square peg into a round hole. Nothing fits. You think, this will be easy. But Tupperware just refuses to cooperate. You'll spend 10 minutes trying to make it work. You try every angle, every possible position. You try to make the lids fit on the top rack, but they're either too big or too small, and somehow, no matter how many times you rearrange it, that one stubborn lid is always somewhere else in the dishwasher, just doing its own thing. It's like Tupperware is secretly part of a bigger conspiracy to destroy your dishwasher piece. And what about the lids? I swear, if Tupperware lids had their own agenda, they'd be running for office. They just scatter like it's some kind of social event. You're just looking at the mess thinking, you don't even belong in the dishwasher. Why are you here? But somehow, they end up there anyway, making their own rules. Lids are always in the wrong spot, or worse, upside down. So you end up doing this dance, trying to place the lid in the top rack, but nope, it doesn't fit. And then you feel like a failure because you just spent 5 minutes trying to get something to fit that was never supposed to fit in the first place. Now let's talk about the utensils. You're probably thinking, oh, just toss them in the utensil holder, right? Wrong. There are rules, unwritten rules. Like, you can't just throw forks and knives in all willy-nilly. No. If you do that, you'll end up with a utensil pile that makes it impossible to get anything clean. And don't even get me started on spoons. Do they ever go in the top or the bottom? Who knows? You'll never get them lined up right. You think you're organizing them neatly, but by the time you're done, you've created a utensil monster, a pile of forks, spoons, and knives, all tangled together like some sort of nightmare that could only be created by the dishwasher gods. You open the door and think, what in the world is that? And for a split second, you regret every decision that led to this moment. But the real kicker, the true absurdity, is the unspoken dishwasher etiquette. You never admit that you didn't load the dishwasher correctly. You just stay quiet. Maybe act like you're organizing something that doesn't need organizing. No one says anything, but we all know. We all know when someone hasn't followed the rules. And we're all pretending it doesn't matter, but it does. The worst thing, though? The look on your face when you open that dishwasher, expecting everything to be perfect, and surprise, nothing is clean. Because your Tupperware was sideways, the plates were shoved in like a game of Jenga, and the spoons were busy forming a tiny spoon society in the corner. But you don't tell anyone. You just fix it silently, hoping no one notices, even though they definitely noticed. All right, let's get into the great debate. Should you pre-rinse your dishes before putting them in the dishwasher? This is one of those arguments that can start a fight faster than you can say, you forgot the silverware tray. There are two camps here, folks, the pre-rinsers and the non-rinsers. And let me tell you, these two groups are locked in a battle that has no end in sight. Let's talk about the pre-rinsers. They think that if you don't pre-rinse, you're basically living in a house made of germs and regret. They'll look at you with such judgment, you'd think you'd just tried to microwave a fork. They're like, I don't trust the dishwasher. It's not a miracle worker, it's a machine. These people will stand there with the sink running, rinsing every plate, every fork, every cup, like they're preparing for a dishwashing Olympics. They're in there, getting every scrap of food off, making sure there's not a single speck left on that plate. Meanwhile, I'm over here thinking, if I wanted to clean this dish twice, I would have just hand washed it in the first place. But the pre-rinsers have a point. Kind of. They're convinced the dishwasher is lazy, and if you don't pre-rinse, you'll end up with sticky, unappetizing plates that look like they've been through an apocalypse. I mean, yeah, there's something about the idea of loading up your dishwasher with gunk and hoping it magically disappears. That's a bit optimistic. Like hoping your dog will finally learn how to vacuum. Now let's talk about the non-rinsers. These are the rebels. These are the people who believe in the dishwasher's magical powers. They think if they just load up their plates as is, crusty, sticky, covered in pasta sauce and whatever else they had for dinner, the dishwasher is going to pull out some kind of sorcery and make everything spotless. They're like, yeah, it's called a dishwasher, not a pre-washer. I'm not doing half the work for it. They'll put in a plate with a whole lasagna stuck to it and just smile like, this is going to be fine. Like, no, it's not going to be fine. You can't just throw in a plate like it's a science experiment and expect it to come out pristine. But here's the best part. The argument. Oh, the argument. It's always the same. The pre-rinsers are so passionate about their position, they'll tell you everything about water temperature and how modern dishwashers aren't as powerful as the old ones. They'll even tell you that not rinsing causes dishwasher buildup, which is code for you'll eventually lose your dishwasher license if you don't rinse properly. Meanwhile, the non-rinsers are like, if I wanted to clean my dishes before the dishwasher cleans them, I'd just wash them by hand. I'm not getting involved in some weird pre-cleaning ritual. And don't you love when the pre-rinsers find the one plate that didn't come clean and they're like, see? I told you it's better to rinse. You're standing there like, no, Karen. That plate just had some rogue spaghetti sauce that needed some real teamwork. We can't just blame the dishwasher for the fact that we never gave it a chance. But here's the real kicker. The pre-rinsers will tell you it only takes a few seconds to rinse. Just rinse it and go. It's like a little warm-up for the dishwasher. And I'm over here thinking, I'm doing half the work. I didn't sign up for this. If I wanted to wash dishes twice, I'd just get a second job as a professional cleaner. And then, when you finally get into that passive-aggressive showdown over the dishwasher cycle, you know it's going to come down to one thing. The load it however you want versus there's a right way to do it argument. You'll both stare at that dishwasher and think, well, if it doesn't clean it, we're both going to have to reload it. So who's going to break first? It's like the dishwasher becomes a scapegoat. You know it's going to do half the work, but in the end, you're the one who has to unload it. And that's a battle no one talks about. Unloading the dishwasher is a whole new argument. But hey, here's the thing. Whether you rinse or don't rinse, the dishwasher never gets it exactly right. Plates come out a little too wet, some mugs have that weird water spot, and there's always one spoon that somehow missed the entire cycle. But the most important thing is, it's a team effort. Whether you're rinsing like a pro or just tossing dishes in like you're throwing them into the Hunger Games, we're all just trying to survive that post-meal cleanup. Now we need to talk about the most intense part of loading a dishwasher, the Tetris phase. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The moment you open that dishwasher door and you realize, this isn't a simple task. This is not just put dishes in, press start. No, this is an intense game of Tetris. And if you don't fit everything perfectly, the whole system falls apart. And it's always more stressful than the actual game of Tetris. Like you can be playing Tetris on your phone for hours, but somehow the moment you face real dishes, it feels like a full-on Olympic sport. You'll be staring at your plates, cups, and bowls, trying to figure out how to fit them into a space that's way too small for the amount of food you just consumed. It's like, is this going to fit? Or am I going to be in a 3-day battle of physics with my dinnerware? And here's the thing. If you're bad at Tetris, you are never allowed to load the dishwasher again. You just have to sit back and watch as your partner or roommate does their best to perform a miracle by shoving plates and pans into that tight space. You'll be sitting there thinking, I don't understand why this looks wrong, but I know it's wrong. I know it's not going to clean anything. And of course, you're silently screaming inside because the one plate you need to fit just right won't cooperate. And suddenly your entire dishwasher looks like the aftermath of an explosion at a kitchenware factory. But here's the catch. The person who is terrible at Tetris will always be the one who insists that every dish has to fit perfectly. Like, you know that one person? The one who's never played Tetris in their life and now they're trying to act like they've invented the art of dishwasher loading? They'll be there, stacking the bowls, cups, and plates like they're solving some kind of Rubik's Cube. No, wait. This goes over here, then that one. This one will fit like this. Meanwhile, you're standing there, watching in horror as the plates slowly start leaning like they're in an architectural disaster. And the worst part? When they say that dumb line, it has to be perfect if we want everything to come out clean. No, it doesn't. You know why? Because it's a dishwasher, not an art installation. It's not a place for your deep, philosophical reflections on how plates should fit together. It's a machine that sprays hot water. And guess what? It's probably going to get everything clean, whether that spoon is next to a wine glass or if your cup is slightly tilted. But the person who's bad at Tetris, they'll keep arguing, no, you don't understand. It's gotta be perfect. And meanwhile, you're just sitting there thinking, yeah, but it's also gotta fit. The ultimate irony is that they're so obsessed with perfection that they're actually causing chaos. It's like trying to jam a square block into a circular hole and then getting mad when it doesn't work. It's supposed to fit, they'll say, as the cup falls out of the rack because you didn't load it just so. You know what else? You could have everything crammed in there all janky with bowls and plates at weird angles, and it'll still work. But if you try to play by their rules of loading perfection, you'll end up with nothing but dirty dishes and an intense stare down. You'll think, is this a dishwasher or a puzzle for masochists? And what about the time you just give up and you're like, fine, you load it because I can't deal with this Tetris trauma anymore. But guess what? You're still not happy because once it's loaded, there's no going back. You're stuck staring at that mess of a dishwasher with all the dishes crammed in, and you know deep down that when you open it later, it's going to be a disaster. Some stuff will be clean, and other stuff, especially the plastic Tupperware, will look like it just took a bath in dirty dishwater. But let's be real. The real kicker is when you open the dishwasher and it's not even full, because you didn't do it the right way. You know when you're standing there, watching your partner load the dishwasher, like it's the final round of America's Got Talent? They get it just perfect, and then you're left with half the dishwasher empty. What about the Tupperware, the knives, the coffee mugs? And they just look at you like, nah, this is right. So, moral of the story, the next time you face the Tetris dishwasher showdown, just remember, there's no right way to load a dishwasher. Just throw the dishes in there, press the button, and pray it all works out. Because guess what? No matter how you load it, that one plate is always going to be in the wrong spot, and the dishwasher will always find a way to leave one spoon dirty. Now we need to talk about the sudden dishwasher breakdown. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The moment when one person loads the dishwasher thinking they've nailed it. They stand there, satisfied with their work, like they've just built a house out of Legos. But then, the other person walks in, they open the dishwasher door, look inside, and it's like they've just opened Pandora's box. And what happens next? Instant meltdown. I'm talking full-on, dramatic. What is this? They see the plates all tilted wrong, cups not stacked properly, and God forbid, plastic Tupperware in there like it's trying to survive a hurricane. Cue the freak out. You'd think they just found a dead body in there. Who loaded this? What did you do? This is a disaster zone. They stand there, paralyzed with rage, shaking their head in disbelief. You know they're mentally calculating how many years of therapy this is going to require. They'll look at the mess, slowly turning their gaze back to you, as if they're looking at a criminal in the courtroom. And then, the next step, the rearranging. This is where the real fun begins. It's like there's suddenly some kind of dishwasher wizard who's going to fix your mistakes with magical powers that they swear they learned at some prestigious dishwasher university. They're like, no, this is all wrong, I'll take care of it. And here they are, rearranging the entire thing, pulling out plates like they're solving a Rubik's Cube. Meanwhile, you're standing there completely dumbfounded, watching as they reset everything and create a new mess. They'll take that one cup, that perfectly placed cup, and move it. And now it's not just wrong, it's a domino effect of chaos. It's like they're rearranging your life, one coffee mug at a time. The best part? As they do it, they act like you've just committed the worst crime ever. I can't believe you did this. You put the bowls on the top rack? Yeah, I did. It's a dishwasher, not a Michelin restaurant. It's supposed to clean everything, not give you an existential crisis. But here they are, shaking their head like you've single-handedly doomed the entire kitchen to eternal filth. And of course, as they move plates around like they're auditioning for The Amazing Race, they're making the classic clink-clink noise. You know that sound? When every single dish, cup, and fork seems to resent being touched, it's like they're protesting, you're messing up the perfect arrangement. But what's really great is how they don't just rearrange for the sake of cleaning. No, they'll also teach you why you did it wrong. It's like you're the student, and they're the dishwasher guru. See, the bowls should be face down so they don't trap water, and the cups, they should go on the bottom rack, not the top. I'm sitting there thinking, why didn't you just do this yourself then? Then comes the final flourish, the dramatic sigh. It's like they've just solved world peace after 5 minutes of rearranging. They close the dishwasher, step back, and say, there, all done. And what do I say? Okay, but are you sure the Tupperware is going to survive? Because last time I checked, we don't have a Tupperware safe setting. And there it is, the beginning of a new argument, because I'm thinking, wait, you just rearranged all of that, and now it's going to break in the cycle anyway? You start second-guessing everything you've ever known about dishwashing. You'll be standing there looking at the pristine, reorganized disaster, and you'll wonder, is this right? Was I wrong the whole time? And that, my friends, is how you get the sudden dishwasher breakdown. And then, because it's a relationship, you both end up in a standoff. You'll look at them and say, hey, you know what? Next time you can do it. And they'll look back at you, all smug, like they're winning. But we all know what's coming. The next time, you'll both fight over something even smaller, like where the spoons go, and round 2 will start all over again. Now let's get into one of the most critical debates in any household. Who gets the dishwasher duty? This is the battle that has no rules, no referee, and no winners. It's the unspoken war of every relationship, roommate situation, or family dynamic. The dishwasher duties. Loading and unloading, it's personal. And somehow, it's never really anyone's turn. It always starts with that awkward, tense moment when you both look at the dishwasher and then at each other. That look. The who's gonna do it? Look. And neither one of you wants to be the one who says, I'll do it first, because it's a trap. It's a trap, people. If you offer first, you're the designated dishwasher person forever. That's it. You're locked in. Forever. It's like agreeing to be in a band and then realizing you're the only one who knows how to play the guitar. So what do? You try to act casual. Like you're not even looking at the dishwasher. Maybe you'll accidentally look at your phone, pretending you didn't see the dirty plates piling up. You're just waiting for them to say something. But that's the thing. They're waiting for you to say something too. It's like a standoff. Whoever blinks first loses. And then it happens. The classic excuse. I did it last time. Ah, yes. The age-old battle cry. I did it last time. It's your turn. I swear, there's nothing more universally used than that line. You could have just finished a 12-hour shift, and they'll still look you in the eyes and say, I did it last time. Oh, really? Last time? That was 6 days ago. That was 6 days ago. And now suddenly it's like some sort of ancient unbreakable law that they get the pass for every single time. So now we're in the negotiation phase. That's right. There's bargaining. Oh yeah, now we're bartering for dishwasher duty like it's a high-stakes auction. Okay, how about this? I'll do the dishwasher if you take out the trash and vacuum the living room. And then it's like, wait, you can't trade that? You already have the vacuuming job. And the trash is your responsibility. It's like trying to broker a peace deal, but all anyone cares about is their own comfort. And don't even get me started on the I'll do it later phase. That's the worst. You know what happens when you say, I'll do it later? Later is the most dangerous word in the English language, because guess what? Later doesn't exist. It's a mythical time. It's a black hole. That later will become tomorrow, then next week then. Before you know it, the dishwasher has become a scene from Hoarders. But you know who the real villain is in these situations? The one who can't just accept the dishwasher duty? No, instead they'll start asking, did you want me to do it now? Are you sure you want me to do it? Are you positive it's my turn? Like they're looking for validation. They're waiting for you to beg them. No, please, you have to do it now, you have to. It's like a psychological game, and the excuses keep coming. I can't do it right now. I'm in the middle of something. Oh, I see. You're in the middle of your show that's going to be the exact same episode as last week, but you can't pause that for 2 seconds to load the dishwasher? It's a real sacrifice. Meanwhile, I'm standing there trying not to look like I'm turning into a dishwasher martyr. And of course, once the dishes are in, it's always the same story. Who's gonna unload it? Oh, you load it like a champ, but who's unloading it? That's when the true test begins. And I know deep down we all think, if I unload it, I'll be the one to load it again next time. So we stand there staring at the clean dishes thinking, should I really start this war again? But you know what? The best part is when the dishwasher is completely ignored and no one brings it up until it's too late. So you're both pretending that the stacked up dishes aren't a thing. They're there. They're glaring at you. But it's like, no, we're fine. We're adults. We can pretend the dishes don't exist. We can handle this, right? Until you finally give in and just load it. Because somebody has to break the silence or we're all going to lose our minds. So here's the reality. Dishwasher duty is a classic, never-ending argument in every household. And no matter how many times you try to rationalize it, the end result is always the same. You'll end up doing it, or both doing it while pretending it doesn't matter. All right, so after all the drama, the arguments, the power struggles over the dishwasher, what's the end result? Who's right? Spoiler alert, no one wins these arguments. That's right, folks, nobody wins. There's no right way or wrong way. There's only who can hold out longer before admitting defeat. And the best part? It's always about who gives in first. I mean, one person might say, "Fine, you do it your way, okay? It's your dishwashing world, I'm just living in it." They say it with a little dramatic flair, like they've just sacrificed their very soul. But you both know deep down, they'll never actually let it go. And the other person? They're sitting there, silently gloating, thinking they've won. But they haven't won either, because no one wins in the dishwasher wars. It's like a game of chicken, except everyone's secretly terrified that they're the one who's about to crash. But here's the kicker. In 10 minutes, I guarantee you'll both forget all about the argument. That's right. You'll be sitting there on the couch. One of you might even go, "Hey, did we just argue about the dishwasher?" And the other one will be like, I don't remember. Was I supposed to be mad about something?" The argument will be forgotten, but the grudge? Oh, the grudge will live on forever. And you'll both continue to move through life, pretending like everything's fine, like you didn't just spend 30 minutes yelling over plates and spoons. But inside, you're both holding on to that grudge. It's not just a dirty dish in the dishwasher anymore. No, it's a dirty little emotional scar that will linger like that last piece of leftover spaghetti no one wants to eat. And somehow, it'll come up again, probably at the most inconvenient time. You'll be at a family dinner, casually talking about something, and out of nowhere, someone will be like, "Yeah, it's just like when you loaded the dishwasher that time." And boom, the argument is resurrected. You'll both act like it's water under the bridge, but deep down, you're still carrying the baggage. The dishwasher drama is now your forever thing. It's like the argument wasn't even about the dishwasher anymore. It's about who's right. It's about who's been wronged. It's about who has the emotional stamina to outlast the other. But really, you both lose because now you're both stuck in this perpetual cycle of low-level annoyance. It's like living in a soap opera, where every episode is about dishes, but somehow it's still entertaining. And then one day, you'll catch yourselves arguing about the same thing again. The same old do the dishes this way, no do it that way drama, but now it's a tradition. You'll both look back at that first argument, laughing, realizing that neither of you ever really cared about the dishwasher. You just needed something to fight about. It was the perfect low-stakes battlefield. The dishwasher was the easiest way to avoid all the real issues in life. So remember, nobody wins. You just end up with a messy kitchen and a messier relationship. But at least the dishes are clean, right? I mean, that's the goal, right? Or is it? All right, so as we wrap this up, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned here today. You know, the dishwasher argument, it's not just about loading plates, folks. It's about the small battles that define relationships. That's right, it's the tiny wars that go unnoticed, the unseen conflicts that shape the way we live together. And let's be real, half the time you don't even know you're fighting a war until you open the dishwasher and see what's been done to the plates. It's like we're all living in an ongoing war, and the dishwasher is just the front line. That's right. The battlefield is set, and every time you go to load it, you're not just putting plates in there. You're doing emotional labor. Like it's this tiny fight over whether to put the forks up or down. But when you step back, you realize you're fighting about respect. But in the end, it's not even about the forks anymore. It's like, oh, so this is what it's come to. My life is now defined by how the spoons are placed. The weirdest part is, you never really know who won. Yeah, someone might declare victory. Maybe you said, okay, fine, you're right. I'll load the dishwasher however you want. But deep down, we all know that the true loser in this war is the laundry pile. And don't even get me started on the laundry pile, because no matter who wins this time, the laundry will always be there to remind you who's in charge. And here's the funniest thing about all of this. The argument will be forgotten in 10 minutes. But the laundry pile? The laundry pile will haunt you forever, like a ghost. A ghost made out of mismatched socks and shirts that somehow never get folded. You can argue over the dishwasher all you want, but when the laundry pile comes for you, there's no escaping that. It'll be like, yeah, you won that dishwasher argument, but I'm still gonna be here, looking at you, judging you every day. And you know what? Eventually, you'll forget the whole argument. You'll move on. One day you'll look back and be like, wait, did we even argue about the dishwasher? And your partner will be like, yeah, but I don't even remember why. It'll be like you've both hit the reset button, you're over it, you've buried the hatchet, but it's only a matter of time before the next argument about the Tupperware comes up, and you're right back in the trenches. But honestly, at the end of the day, no one really wins. There's no final victory. The dishwasher will keep getting loaded, the arguments will keep happening, and the laundry pile, it'll still be waiting for you at the end of the day, smug and undefeated, like the true villain of the household. We're all just trying to survive. So here's to us, fighting the good fight, one dirty dish at a time. And hey, if nothing else, you'll always have something to argue about. And that, my friends, is the secret to a long, happy relationship. Because when you're arguing about how to load the dishwasher, at least you're still talking, and that's something, right? But spoiler alert, in the end, you both lose, and the laundry pile wins.